Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me this evening on the NWP call. My name is Rich Simmonds. I'll be the presenter and host. Before we go any further, I just wanted to read this disclaimer. The information I share should not be considered as financial advice, and we share information about what we actually do ourselves. Please be sure you understand what you're putting your money into, and if you're unsure about something, please ask. And remember that historical results are no promise of what will happen in the future. NWP has solutions for everyone, including the opportunity seeker as well as the investor. It's an investor-focused company, but there is an opportunity for people who are looking for opportunities to earn some extra money as well. The ultimate solution is that everyone's looking for weekly cash flow because that's what makes a difference in our lives. Profits from the investments and as well as commissions are that. It's to your benefit, and the company operates totally to your benefit. It's a trading platform that manages your investments, targeting weekly income generation. Your funds held securely by independent brokers, and they actively manage those funds with up to 30%, normally 20 to 30% of your capital utilized on forex markets. And the reason why that is done is to achieve those weekly profits for you. Your capital, however, is always in your control. You maintain this, and it's flexible. So you decide on a weekly basis whether you want to keep your capital in the system or whether you want to withdraw it. Should you wish to withdraw it, the first time you withdraw your capital, it's free to withdraw it. And then after that, when you make subsequent withdrawals, there will be a 2% fee on your capital withdrawal. There's different asset portfolios available to you when you start with NWP, starting with a foundation portfolio, which is from $10 to $9,999. And what we look at here is a monthly target that the traders and brokers are trying to achieve. And that's between 5 to 10% per month on the foundation portfolio. However, these profits are paid out to you on a weekly basis. So the sum of the 4 weeks, you could say, in a month, or either that will be the target between 5 to 10%. So when you start a portfolio, you can start from either 10 to 5,000. So if you were looking at, let's say you're going to put in $8,000, you would put in 5,000 and 3,000. It's just the way the portfolios work. Your minimum portfolio that you can open is $10, and the maximum portfolio within the foundation would be 5,000. But like I say, you just do a multiple number of portfolios within your back office. Then moving along, although you've got all these different portfolios, they will all the profits will come into one main wallet, what they call the checkout wallet, and you can then withdraw those profits on a weekly basis. So it's just purely so that you can see how each time you made an investment, how it's performed to date, and what the income is on those portfolios. You can have a look at your weekly or your total income, which will show you on your back office. But as I say, no matter how many portfolios you have, all the profits from all your portfolios will come into one wallet, and you'll make the withdrawal of them all together. They're not separate. Then the next set of portfolios is the growth portfolio. Here, anything from $10,000 upwards. And you don't have to worry if you were accumulating, let's say in the foundation portfolio, and you went over 10,000 with your portfolios, all those portfolios that are currently in the foundation, as soon as the system sees a total of 10,000 or more, it will automatically move all your portfolios. Doesn't matter if it was $10 or $5,000 or whatever it was. If it's your total investment reaches 10,000, the system will automatically move all your portfolios into growth. And then again, as your growth grows, the next investment level is the $50,000 plus, and you'll notice here that the monthly targets for the growth and the elite portfolios just move up, and those are the targets that the traders trade within to make sure that you are achieving those targets. How have we done so far? Well, there's been 39 weeks of trading so far, This last week, there was a percentage of 1.555% for the week, and that was both on the foundation and the growth portfolios. And you'll notice there that the average target for those portfolios over the last 4 weeks was both 7.03%. Your capital deposits, you can deposit capital in the following currencies. That's either USDT, that's Tether on the Ethereum network, on the Binance network with BNB as well, and USDC, and then there's Polygon on the USDT, Tether Polygon on the Polygon network. As long as you've made your deposit by midnight tonight, you will still get the profits and trades for the week. Your checkout wallet, and this is where you pay your money into, please note that the minimum that you can pay into your checkout wallet. So let's say, for instance, you had different currencies and you wanted to put them in to make up your deposit, you can put a minimum of $3. If you put less than $3 into the system, it's not going to recognize it. So please, if you are putting in different currencies to make up your investment, just make sure that no single payment is less than $3 so that the system can automatically pick that up. How it all works is you would start and deposit your capital. You would then open a portfolio to start your investment. The traders would then trade for you on a weekly basis and generate profits from a Monday to Friday. On a Friday at midnight, the trading for the week ends. And then at that point, on a Saturday morning, all the profits are then separated from the capital. So your capital remains with the brokers, and the profits then get sent to a payment gateway. This payment gateway, it's done every single week, and your profits just remain there until such time as you make a withdrawal. So there's no internal rotation of funds. It just keeps everything much more simple, and also, that you can be sure that everyone's getting their profits. There's no waiting for the profits. They're automatically available for you to withdraw. You can make that withdrawal as long as you've got a minimum of $5. If you haven't got $5 and let's say it says $3.50, that $3.50 is still with the payment gateway, just waiting for you until such time as you've got $5, and then you can make that withdrawal. When you make that withdrawal, there's a 5% fee on that withdrawal. So 5% is just on the withdrawal that you're making. It's not on your capital. The capital remains there. Therefore, if you had made a $5 profit, it's 5% of that. That's 25 cents. And you would then receive $4.75 in your crypto wallet. Now we talk a little bit about strategy. When we talk about crypto wallets and crypto exchanges, there's a difference, and I just want to make that clear, basically so that you avoid paying extra costs. So let's look at those differences. A crypto exchange is where you take normal currency and exchange it for a cryptocurrency. So you would take your rands, your dollars, your euros, whatever, and you'd exchange that for a cryptocurrency. Exchanges are places like Valor, Binance, Luno, Kraken, Altcoin Trader, all those type of things. They're all crypto exchanges. The thing about an exchange is that the fees are generally quite high. Okay, it's because it's like a bank. Bank fees are also high. But when you have a private crypto wallet, and here we're talking about things like SafePal, Token Pocket, MetaMask, Exodus, you're simply using that to swap or move your currency. So it's like having your wallet. You take your cash out of the bank, you put it into your wallet, you carry it around or your purse, and then you would spend it. It's purely there to hold your money for a temporary purpose, much like a crypto exchange. You're just going to temporarily exchange your normal dollars for crypto so that you can use it somewhere. Those are the ideas. And a crypto wallet is very economical. It allows you to swap, whereas an exchange allows you to exchange a currency for a normal rand or a dollar. Then there's the example of fees. Now, when it comes to SafePal, this is just the one that I used as an example here this evening. What SafePal does is it gives you an option to use a low, a middle, and a high. This is just the speed that the network will process your things at, even at a low fee, which is still less than 1 cent, as you would notice. It's still, the one might take you 1 minute, the other one might take you 2 or 3 minutes, whereas a high one would take like a blink of an eye, but it would cost you more. Those are the ideas with fees, as you can see here. And the idea with a wallet, unlike a bank will charge you, or an exchange will charge you on the amount that you're exchanging. So they'll have a fee, a percentage of $1,000. Whereas when you use a wallet, the fee that you pay it's not dependent on the amount that you're sending or receiving. It's simply there as a transaction fee. So it's 1 cent regardless of whether you're getting $1 or $5 or $100 or $1,000, you would still pay the same fee. When you're working with an exchange to get your money into NWP, one of the things we've recently found is that if there's BNB available, that's one of the simplest ways to get money into NWP. So instead of trying the USD Tether route, which is quite expensive, and that's normally, because it's on the Ethereum network, the gas fees are quite high. Using BNB as your currency that you deposit with seems to be the cheapest way to do it. I know in the past we mentioned Polygon. That's another option, but the one thing is BNB might be slightly cheaper. Just depends on what exchanges you're using. But do explore the options, and if you're unsure, please just ask. From your exchange, you would exchange. Let's say you were doing Polygon, then what you would do is the NWP system doesn't accept Polygon, and accepts Polygon USDT. So you would get Polygon from your exchange. You would then swap that in your crypto wallet, that's your private crypto wallet like SafePal, and you would swap that for Polygon USDT to be able to send that to the NWP network. If you were using BNB, you could simply get the BNB at the exchange and send it directly to NWP. That's one less step for you to do, so it makes it a lot easier. So I hope that helps you with a little bit of explanation of how to get into the system. Remember that with NWP, there's no auto reinvestment. So whatever you see in your checkout wallet needs to be withdrawn, and then you need to then withdraw that into your own crypto wallet and reinvest that if you want to back into the NWP system. There's no auto compounding or auto anything. It must be drawn out and put back in. And this is purely for safety reasons, so that everyone knows that the money is real and you don't have to question that. That's one of the things that make the system extremely transparent. Knowing that everyone every week has to withdraw their profits, that the system is healthy and it's functioning 100% correct. When you're ready to start, please ask for this little booklet. That's how to register, deposit your funds, start and make your investment portfolio and withdraw. It also gives you those options on how to withdraw. It doesn't go into the detail of the exchanges because or any of the crypto wallets, because there's, everyone's unfortunately different. But if you're unsure, please just ask. Well, NWP has a support. Quickest is WhatsApp chat support. Just depending on the time that you contact support, you can expect them to respond to you within an hour. The later in the evening, the quicker they're going to respond. I got a response last night, and I helped someone they had to do an email address change, and I was able to help them probably within about 5 minutes. And the reason being is that the girls are actually based in Canada, so that +1 number is a Canadian number, and that's where the WhatsApp chat support are situated. It's very fast and efficient, as I say. Email is a little bit slower. Right, so let's talk about a bit of extra income and how you can make some extra income for yourself. And the goal here is really to get yourself a reoccurring weekly income. When we look at extra income and the affiliate plan or the referral system with NWP, the goal here is to build up a recurring income for yourself. It's not a once-off, it's a recurring. So, the more your system grows and the more your team grows, and we'll talk about that in a moment, that means the more your earnings are going to grow. So I'm sure we'd all like to earn little bits extra and for that income to grow. It's, the dream come true. It really is. This extra income is available to you through referral links in your back office. You'll see that when you go into your back office, there's a left and a right referral link, and you can use those links to join people in. The beauty about the NWP system is that you yourself don't have to have an investment to be able to refer people and earn from the affiliate plan. It's completely free. You can register your link for free and you can refer people. And as soon as you've met the criteria, and we'll go through that, it's very simple, then you will start earning. All right, so the business structure looks as follows. You'll wonder how the left and right works. Well, it's simple. If you look at the red dot on the top there, that's the sponsor, the person that you signed in with. You then fall underneath them, and you'll notice that you either are in their left or their right leg. In this case, you've fallen into their left leg, and what will happen is there's a thing called spillover. Now, spillover happens, remember that your sponsor or the person that referred you can either put people into the left or right-hand side of the business. Let's say they wanted to put people in on the left-hand side of the business, they would automatically fall under you. It's basically in date order. So if you join today and someone else joins with your sponsor tomorrow, you don't know who they are, but they suddenly came and they fell in the leg underneath you. And the next person joins, they will join in that leg if it's the sponsor's person. If you now decided that you wanted to put someone in your left leg, there's your person. They would fall in a row with whoever came next. So this person, as you can see here, they came next, and then your person. So that's how you'll see the distribution of people in your business structure or your team. And then you'll notice that on the right-hand side, you can only put people. Your sponsor can't put, because if he was putting people on the right-hand side, it would go on his right leg and you in his left leg. So when you put people in, they will go on your right, and they will be your people. And then you'll notice here that when the people that you've put in start adding people into their business, they will go either on the left or right-hand side. So that's just how the structure works. So when I explain things just now, you'll understand more of the business structure. And when we talk about the different bonuses and how to qualify them, you'll have a structure like this that you'll need. The whole thing about NWP is it's a completely sustainable business model. The profits here drive the bonuses. What do we mean? Well, the person that's the investor, the person you referred, if they're making profits on a weekly basis, you're going to make your referral bonuses on a weekly basis. If there's no profits for the investor, there's no profits for you, the person who referred it. But it's on a week-to-week basis. So every single week that your investor that you've referred to the system, when he makes a profit, you will make your bonuses. And that's the sustainable model of the business. There's no upfront bonuses or anything like that paid by the system. Therefore, the company is completely sustainable. It doesn't have to find money that it doesn't have to pay out people. It's always coming from the profits. Now you're going to probably ask, so where do these profits actually come from? Well, on a weekly basis, when you see the result for the week, and the example here was from the 20th of June, where the profit for that week was 1.56. What actually was done in trading was 3.12%. Half of that went to the investor, and the other 50% went to the business volume. This business volume is equivalent to the profit, as you can see there, it's split. The profit is split, so 50% of the profit goes to the investor, and the other 50% goes to business volume. If we look at the business, and I talk about sustainability, when we look at what's been paid so far to the investors, and this is in the last 39 weeks, because the first trading week was on the 26th of October. So far to the investor, if you'd invested 39 weeks ago, you would have earned 82.15%. And on the other side of it, 82.15% has been paid out to the business volume. Therefore, a total of the initial capital invested, a total of that as 164% has been paid out in the business already. If you were wondering, is this system going to last? Can it last? Well, if it wasn't going to last, it should have failed about 5 months ago, because it would have got to the 100% and therefore ran out of money. No, this is real trading, as you can see, and those profits are sustainable because of the real trading. Therefore, for the investor, it's sustainable, and for the business, it's sustainable. Right, so let's have a look at those bonuses that you can earn. The first one that you can earn is a direct referral bonus. Here, when you refer someone, okay, and it doesn't matter which leg they're in, if they're your referral, if they're in your business, and they earn a profit, you will earn 10% of that profit that they make on a weekly basis. Remember, it's not coming out of their profits, it's coming out of the business volume, the other side of the profits. And that's 10% that you make. So the bigger the person's investment is that you refer, but the bigger your earning will be because of the size of their investment. The next is a binary qualification. Now, when you look at that team that I explained to you earlier, as long as you've got referrals on your left and right, you will get it. The system just looks for volume. It doesn't look who they are or what they're doing, and it doesn't, remember, you don't need to have an investment yourself. As long as there's volume on your left side of the business and the right side of the business, you will start earning a weekly binary bonus. If we look at the way you can qualify here, well, it's quite simple. On this example here, you've got 2 referrals. You didn't have any spillover here, but there's volume because of your referrals. You've got $200 on the left, $175 on the right. You are binary qualified. You will get a bonus. In this case, you haven't got any of your own referrals, but because there was spillover, the system doesn't worry about whose referrals they are, whose people. Your business is determined from you down on the left or you down on the right. As long as you've got volume in both your legs, you will receive a binary bonus. That binary bonus is 15% of the business volume generated in that leg. So what the business volume is, again, just to recap on that, it's all the profit made by each investor. It's equivalent to that. That's the business volume for the week. So if this person makes his percentage and each person in your leg, that determines the business volume, and you will get 15% of the business volume generated in your smaller leg, up to a maximum of $5,000 per week. Here's an example. So this is just a very simple example of you've got $100 in the business, or a referral with $100, and because of a spillover, you got $100 on the other side. So therefore, you binary qualified. What will you earn? Well, from this person, if there was a percentage for the week of 1.34%, you would have earned 13% because they earned $1.34 on their $100. You earn 10% of that, it's 13 cents. Because you now got a binary qualification, in other words, you've got a balance from left to right here, the smaller leg is not relevant, but if you are paid on the smaller leg, so it will assume one of these legs are the smaller even though it isn't, and it'll still pay you a binary bonus. Therefore, 15% of the volume, the business volume made there was $1.34, and you will get 20 cents. So this little business, as small as it is, you will earn a weekly bonus, in this case, of 33 cents. Remember that it changes from week to week depending on the percentage that's earned from the trading that week. A matching bonus, this is when you've got people and you've now referred people. Those people who you've referred become binary qualified. You will get a matching bonus on the binary bonus that they make. Right, so as I've mentioned, the system is completely sustainable. All your profits and bonuses are withdrawn out on a weekly basis. Nothing's held within the system. Therefore, there's no internal rotation of funds, and this ensures that the system is 100% sustainable. The withdrawal fees on your commissions are the same as your withdrawal fees on your profits. So it's 5% again, and they're all paid in Polygon USDT. Now, just to mention, there are also long-term rewards, and these rewards have no time limit on them. So the rewards I show you are simply earned as career rewards from the time you start until such time as you qualify for them. Might take you a long time, might take you a short time, but nevertheless, once you qualify for them, you will earn them. So what are these? Right, the first one starts when you've earned a total of $100 from your binary. So from the time you started until the time you earn $100, you'll then qualify for the first reward. Now, it's listed here as a 3-month data. Okay, in the cases of Europe and Africa, an alternative reward will be decided. So if you are the first person to earn this, then you will be asked what alternative you would like, and that can be done. But let's move on. The next one is when you've earned $500 in binary, you will then get a luxury hotel stay for 2 adults, and that will be your qualification. Now, these first two need to be claimed. As you win them or as you get them, you claim those. Then it goes on to the next rewards. Now, these are where you can claim or move on. To explain that, let's say, for instance, you've earned $2,500 in your binary bonuses. You now have the option where you can get a tablet. If you say, no, I don't need a tablet, my kids have got the tablet, I've got a tablet, my family, everyone's got tablets, we're all happy, so we don't need the tablet, then you simply bank that $2,500 towards your $7,000. At that stage, once you've accumulated your $7,000, which means you need to just get the difference between the two, you will then get your reward there, which is the iPhone or the 3-day, 2-night international trip, and so on and so on. To the point where you can, once you've earned $25,000 in the binary, you can then get your Rolex watch. So at that point, you take the Rolex watch, you can't bank anymore. Then the next one is ambassador rewards, and this is just going up and up and up. It basically means that you've got 3 people in your team that have earned Rolex watches on the left and 3 people that earned Rolex watches on the right, all the way up to big rewards like a Mercedes-Benz and even a house. So that's the NWP system as we have it at the moment. Do ask any questions. I know I've gone through it quite quickly, but let's have your questions. Thanks very much.
Rich, can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure, Paula.
With every week, or as soon as you've got your $5, you can make that withdrawal and you can reinvest with a minimum of $10.
Yes.
And there is a 5% charge for the withdrawal. So is there any way that one can work out, obviously for a person that's wanting to compound and, continually be putting their money back in, is there a way that one can work out that compounding of the investment, but taking into account the 5% withdrawal fee?
Well, we did that spreadsheet that takes into account that. So that
okay, so that spreadsheet's got that in. Okay, oh. So one can just work on that.
Yeah, the spreadsheet works out that 5% for you, and then it works out the what you've got to invest after the 5% taken. So the spreadsheet will actually tell you how much you've got to invest, and it'll give you that compounding effect.
Okay. Yeah, so that's nice to have, to be able to really work it out properly and see where you're going.
Yeah. And you know, when you're using the spreadsheet, always use the smallest percentage, sort of 1.25% or something like that. And if you get more, it's just a bonus. But if you work on the 5% per month, you know, this last 4 weeks we've got 7%, but don't work on that. Work on 5%. It's better for your projections, because that's what the traders aim for. If it's more, it's a bonus.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Pleasure.
So, okay, thank you to all of you, and good night, good evening to all of you. Thank you. See you soon again.
Thank you very much, Rakesh.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Bye, Rakesh.
Bye.
Good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Delise. Do have a good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. And if there are any questions, let's put them on the group. Or if you haven't got the spreadsheet yet, do ask for that, so that we can send that to you, and you can potentially work out how your things will look.
Thank you, Richie. Great presentation.
Pleasure, Peter.
Thanks.
Thanks, Rich. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.